welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at some of my favorite summer sets that we've done over the past few years, and it's been a journey. We have done so many sets. We're almost to our 1,000th video, so we have done a lot of nails here on my channel, and it's also fun to take a look back to see how far we've come as a channel as a whole. Alright, so stay tuned. We will have more summer nails coming your way, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, we're going to be diving into some brand new colors from 915 Aesthetics. They are vibrant, they are neon, they are perfect for summer. And then I'm also going to be trying out new to me the gel base today for the gel method. We're going to be doing a set of press-ons on the Shape Short Coffin. Now since this is a new to me product when it comes to the gel base here, I'm just going to check it out here. I want to see what the viscosity and the consistency is of this gel before we go ahead and dive right into it and just slap it on some nails. I really want to just kind of see what the viscosity is here. I can already tell you that it is on the thinner side just by looking at this, and I'm gonna love this. I can tell you already. So we're gonna start strong here with Strawberry Daiquiri, which is a beautiful, vibrant, radioactive hot pink. And we are just starting off with a little bit of that gel base on the nail. I like to start right below the cuticle and then pull that up so we're not flooding the underneath side of that nail here. We are dipping directly into the jar today. If you're more comfortable, you could always pour the powder into a cupcake liner to give you a little bit more wiggle room as well. So we went ahead and dipped. I'm just tapping off. And then what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I'm completely blown away by this coverage right here and the color. You're definitely getting that wow factor here with these colors because they are very bright and just like perfect. And you can see here it's kind of like a neon matte glitter. It's really unique. It's very beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and press everything down here. I'm just doing that with the most gentle hand here because again, I did not go ahead and cure this yet. So I just want to make sure that I am gently pressing down. I am going to clean up underneath the nail here too, just to make sure that we have none of those fun glitters underneath it, so we have a really clean surface when we go ahead and apply the press on to our natural nail. So I cured for 30 seconds. We're going to dust off. This is actually an ombre brush from 915 Aesthetics, but when I'm making press-ons, I love this style brush for dusting off. So everything you can see here is laying super, super flat. Now we're going to go in with another layer here of this gel. So right here you can see here I'm pulling it down right below that cuticle line and then pulling that product down. And again, I will work that product all the way up. The thinner the application you can get with your gel or even your dip base, whatever method you're using, the better, especially when it comes to making press-ons, because you do not want to oversaturate that nail. And then you want to go ahead and make sure that we are still keeping the shape of that press-on. That is definitely the key when you are making your press-on. But wow, that coverage and that color right there, it is everything. I love a good pink, and this is definitely screaming like that vibrant pink flamingo. It is definitely giving me that strawberry daiquiri kind of vibe, and I'm totally here for this. I'm here for all these colors. So I love this style set that we're doing today. I love the play of like these matte glitters. It's kind of pulling 80s for me, but yet it's kind of giving me like pop rocks or like that rock candy. It's giving me sugar for sure, sugar vibes. And when I saw how this first nail came out, I was like, okay, I really like the texture look that it's giving, but even though it's giving you like this illusion of like texture, sugarness, it doesn't feel rough. It actually still feels really, really flat. Like right now I cured it and we're dusting off and that still feels completely smooth. I don't know what kind of magic and sorcery is in these powders right here, but these are fun. Normally when I'm playing with a style powder like this, it still feels really, really rough. I'm not getting that effect here with any of these powders that we're using today. So that's when I was like, okay, plot twist. Instead of trying out the gel top coat too, but we'll get into that in a future video for sure. I was like, I really like how this is looking here, so we're gonna do like a bright neon, like rock candy sugar kind of style mani today. So that is the direction that we pivoted in, and that's the best part about doing your nails at home, is that you can change things up and completely do whatever your heart desires. So this purple, it is radiant and it is so pretty. So I'm just gently pressing everything down. And that is the main thing. If you can take away anything, not only are you taking away like these beautiful colors from 915 Aesthetics, such great quality, but if you take away anything, just make sure you are taking that time to really just make sure everything is laying super, super flat to that nail before you cure. It's going to go ahead and help reduce that bulk. It's going to help cut down your filing and buffing, just taking this extra step right here. And you're also keeping the shape of that nail. So anytime you see me brushing off, just know that I did cure that nail here for a full 30 seconds. Now, I'm not having any issues with this gel right here that we're using this base with curing. I'm easily just curing for 30 seconds and it is definitely cured. I will say this gel also, the viscosity is amazing. I love the brush. And since we are doing the gel method and I am going in with a second coat, feel free to go ahead and brush that brush off on the paper towel before you stick it back into that bottle. That's going to help keeping your gel base stay that crystal clear color. If you've ever done the gel method and you are not wiping off your brush, you're going to notice that your gel base is going to take longer to cure. It's also going to cloudy up your colors, and it's also going to make your mani look a little bit splotchy if you are not wiping off any extra powder when you are sticking that brush back in the bottle. So just keep that in mind. Even though you do not see me wiping off that brush, I am wiping off that brush after each coat just to keep that formula as pure as possible. All right, so we're going to go ahead and clean up underneath that nail now. And this is a very satisfying part for me, is using that little precision tool and just cleaning it up. But overall, so fun. So it doesn't matter what colors you're using from 915 Aesthetics. The quality is definitely there for me. I love the powders. I if I could have one powder the rest of my life, or just like one brand, it would be 915 Aesthetics. Now, if you're not a gel method girly and you like dip liquids, the dip liquids are fantastic. The consistency is amazing, especially for press-ons. It's very thin consistency as well. It's not that overpowering scent. And speaking of scent, this gel product right here, it is HEMA free. And a lot of times when you are working with HEMA free products, they have like this overbearing, just like chemical scent. These gels do not have that overbearing smell. I have some gels where I use in my whole like house smells, and I have a 2-story house, and it just completely stinks and I cannot use them, and I did not experience any of that issue with that harsh chemical scent with these gels. So that is definitely another plus. So we're moving on to this beautiful blue. This blue right here, it is the perfect neon blue, right? I love it so much. So out of these colors today, we are going to do 5. The moment I saw these colors, I was like, okay, we need to pull it in for a fun summer Skittles mani. And I could not be more excited about this color scheme. And I could not be more excited on like the style of these powders as well. Now there's other colors that there's like a really beautiful coral color as well that is in the same category with those really fun matte style glitters like you see here. So you can definitely incorporate so many different looks with this. Plus, you can use this any time of year. I mean, even though it's vibrant and rich in color, you can totally rock these colors all year long, and I feel like these are great staple colors. Now 915 Aesthetics has released 24 perfect summer colors, so if these are not your cup of tea, after this video, head over to 915 Aesthetics and check out some of the other new colors, because you're definitely going to find something that catches your eye. And like I said before, no matter what colors you pick from 915 Aesthetics, you cannot go wrong. So we're just wrapping up here that second coat here on this blue, and this blue, it is everything. It screams summer and I just love it so much. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into the rest of these beautiful colors so you can see them in action, and I'm going to pop back in just a few moments.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me.
How electrifying is this yellow? It is stunning. So here's what we're working with right here. We have such beautiful, vibrant colors. Now, filing and buffing was very easy. So exactly what you're seeing me do here, I did it on the rest of the nails. I'm just taking that file and making sure I'm cleaning up underneath that nail here, cleaning up the sidewalls, and then just reshaping just ever so slightly. I had very minimal filing. I did not need a buff on top of any of these nails because everything was laying super flat. I'm just taking a stiff brush here and making sure any extra filing dust lingering is gone. But check it out how flat everything is laying. I just love it so much. These powders are super, super easy to use. And then I did the rest of the filing on the other nails off camera. And then this is all we're doing today because we wanted to keep the nail having like that textural look. So that is all I did. If you want to go ahead and do a top coat, you totally can, but I really like how it kind of looks like rock candy or like those like pop rock candies. That is the style I am going for, so I am just so in love with it, and I love a good sugared nail. And even though it has a little bit of texture to it, it actually feels really smooth, so I was completely blown away by that because normally it feels super rough, but I really like these powders. They are so fun, super easy to use, and I love, love, love that gel base that we use. So I cannot wait to dive into the gel top coat, and then we're gonna try the matte top coat as well. But options are endless when you're playing with 915 dip powders and this color scheme in general. You can totally pick, a couple colors from this or do like a Skittles mani like we did today. There are so many different options when it comes to these fun colors. All right, so everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, I'm going to show you how to create effortless paint splatter nails. It's really easy to do, and you probably already have most of these items lying around, so it's going to be super easy to recreate. Not only does it remind me of paint splatter, but it also gives me like that candy coating that you see on Jawbreakers. It kind of has that same effect. So we're diving right in today. We're going to be creating this set today on the shape of medium almond. I just feel like the almond length and the shape is perfect for this like paint splatter effect that we're creating. So I was like, we're gonna pull in that shape, but you can pull in whatever shape your heart desires. So the first thing we're doing right now is the base color. So I am using Fluffy Clouds. It is the purest white gel polish. I know I talk about it every time I use it. So we're not gonna go deep into this color here, but it is super full coverage. It is the best white that I've ever tried, and it's a great formula as well. So the best part about the look that we're doing today is that you can really incorporate whatever base color you want. You could do it over like some pastel colors would be really fun. You could do it even over black. Whatever color you want to do for your base, that is the color you want to go ahead and apply first. I'm not doing any base coat or anything like that over this. I don't experience any flaking or peeling after I do this method by just going in with the gel polish, but if you do experience that, then go in with your primer and your gel base, and then go in with your color. Okay, so here's one coat. We cured for 30 seconds. And now for the fun part, we're gonna go in with some pigments. Now I'm taking a paper towel. I did cut that paper towel into a square here. And now I'm just taking this little fluffy brush here, and I am just tapping on that pigment powder all over that paper towel, and I'm kind of focusing on one certain area there. We are just going to go ahead and keep tapping on the pigments here to kind of give it kind of just like that overall sporadic paint splatter effect. I will say the fluffier the brush when you are tapping on the pigments on the paper towel, the better. I felt like I got a better like the way it spread it out with a fluffier brush was definitely way better than like a firmer brush. All right, now that we have that pigment on the paper towel, I am just going to go ahead and place that jelly stamper on the paper towel. All I did was press it down on the paper towel. I did not go ahead and kind of angle it or wiggle it around. I just put it straight on the paper towel and then press down, and then I picked up that really fun design, and then we're going to just place that jelly stamper here on the nail here. And remember, we did cure this base color that we picked white, so that is completely cured. And now we are just pressing the jelly stamper to the nail, and voila, we have the most funnest paint splatter nail. It is that easy to achieve. So with that same stamper, I did not clean it off or anything like that. We went ahead and stamped on to the other nail, and I just love the different colors. I feel like this is really fun for summer. You can do a lot of different things with this by pulling in different base colors as well. So that is our third nail that we went ahead and stamped on without adding any more product to that jelly stamper. Now to clean up the jelly stamper, go in with a lint-free alcohol wipe. Then I went in with a lint-free dry wipe, and I made sure that stamper was completely dry before I went ahead and pressed it back onto the paper towel to pick up some more image here of that pressed powder. And we're going to continue doing the same process. I will say I do like how the pigments are placed when on this nail, that I went ahead and painted one more nail. So you're going to see here we're stamping a 6th nail right here because I love the design so much. I was like, okay, we're going to swap a nail out and we're going to use this design right here. All right, so now that we have all the pigment on the nails, it is time to seal this in. And you're probably wondering, how are you going to apply any liquid on those powders without smearing them? So I'm making sure that I had a good amount of gel top coat on that brush, and I am just ever so with like the most gentle hand applying that gel top coat to the nail to try to avoid any smearing. If you get any pigments on your brush, like you can see here, wipe it off on a paper towel before sticking it back in the bottle to make sure you are keeping your top coat as pure as possible. But even if you do get a little smudging or anything like that on the nail, that's really going to just transform the whole look to kind of give it more of like a dripping paint kind of splatter look. But as long as you have like a very delicate hand and are not applying it too heavy-handed, you're really going to avoid having those streaks in there, and you're going to get a really awesome finish. I feel like a matte top coat would be fantastic on this as well. Options are definitely endless. So we cured for 60 seconds. Here's the finished mani. I love this so much. It is definitely screaming summer. It is giving me, like I said, paint splatter and also like that candy coated effect. You know, like that black speckled top coat that Sundara Nails has to offer. I feel like black speckles would be a really awesome touch to this set as well. There's so many things you could do. Animal print on top of this. This is just a really great foundation to even implement even more nail art. But overall, so fun. I just feel like there's so many different ways to play with pigments. And we did like that really fun cotton candy chrome mani a few weeks ago. And I was like, let's dive into some more pigment powders to see what we can create. And I really love how this turned out. So I hope you enjoyed today's simple mani. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's set, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from 915 Aesthetics. We're going to create a very easy, bright, fun, perfect summer set today. We're going to do it on the shape Short Coffin, and then we're also going to start out today with some dip liquids. Now the colors that we're using today scream summer. They're bright, they're vibrant, they're hot, they're giving you like that perfect summer sizzle. So you're going to see three beautiful colors in action, and you're really going to get a good feel if these colors are going to be right for you. So we're going to start off with a little bit of dip base here. I just do a very thin layer on each nail, and then with the 915 aesthetic jars, I really love them. It gives you a lot of room so you can dip directly into that jar. If you want more wiggle room, you can always use a cupcake liner as well. But we're starting off strong here with lava, and the coverage is beautiful. I love these kind of like orangey coral bright colors. I feel like they're perfect for that summer season, and these do not disappoint. If you've ever tried anything from 915 Aesthetics, the quality and the consistency of the formula and just like how the magical the powders are, they are everything and they do not disappoint. That is something that I love about 915 Aesthetics, is that the quality never changes and you're getting nothing but the best when it comes to these powders. So if you are not into bright coral colors, definitely check out 915 Aesthetics because you're gonna find some really amazing colors that are gonna catch your eye. So we ended up right now doing another layer of dip base, and then we are dipping right into that jar and we are doing a second coat. And the second color here really just builds it up, and it's giving like this like melon color here, but yet like that perfect coral brightness to it. It's so pretty. But I am gonna go ahead and just make sure everything is laying super flat and just pressing down everything just to make sure that we are keeping the shape of that nail. That is something that's really important if you're doing your press-ons or doing this on your hand. Just making sure you are taking time to press everything down just to keep that shape. It's also going to help cut down on your filing and buffing in the end. All right, so I'm looking at that color right here, and it looks really good with two coats, but I wanted to see what it would look like with a third dip. So that is what we're doing today. We're gonna see these colors in their full potential, and then you're gonna see comparisons of three dips versus one and three dips versus two, so you can really kind of see like that color payoff here and see how buildable these are. So that is what we're doing today. Normally the rule of thumb for me is I just do two coats and that's all I do, but today I really wanted to dive in deep into these powders to kind of show you how easy they are to use and that they are super finely milled, so it doesn't really matter how many coats you're doing. It's not gonna add any bulk per se on the nail. It's just gonna build up that color because the combination of these liquids from 915 Aesthetics too have a very thin consistency. So they're just like a dream when you combine the beautiful finely milled high quality powders and then the liquids to this set. It's just like chef's kiss. And if you do not prefer to use dip liquids, you can always use the gel method with this as well, and you're gonna get the same outcome. And that is something that I just completely love about 915 Aesthetics, is that it doesn't matter what method you're doing or what powders you're using, you're still gonna get that amazing quality. So we're gonna end up using this color on two nails, and then we're gonna dive into the other colors. Also, Crackle is a really fun kind of like shattered glass glitter that we're going to dive into. We're also going to do some fun nail art today that is really easy to achieve with any kind of set you're doing or any other like combination of colors you're doing, so you can kind of implement that in any set that you're doing today. So that is the game plan for today. So we're just wrapping up the second coat here of lava, and then you're going to see that comparison here in just a moment. But for this nail right here, I'm only going to show you the second dip since we already kind of saw the third dip in action just to save time. And then when it comes to flare, I'm going to show you, we're going to use flare on 2 different nails, and I'm going to show you how it looks with 3 coats, and then I'll give you the comparison as well, and then I'll just finish that third dip off camera so we can just kind of save a little bit more time. But that is our game plan for today. I hope you love these colors. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into this mani so you can see these beautiful colors here in action, and then I will pop back in just a little bit.
Every guy I've met, we fell in love at a bad time. Getting insecure, questioning myself on the way down. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. Right now I need to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down, but I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. One stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Grandpa used to ask why I'm single with such a pretty face. Where is your man? You should go out and chase him. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. So now I'm about to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down, but I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. One stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. I don't need anyone else. I just wanna be for myself a while, nobody else. I just need myself, take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down, but I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. One stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster.
All right, so we're just wrapping up the last nail here, and I'm spending quite a bit of time making sure everything is laying super, super flat and just keeping the shape of the nail. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but the flatter you can get everything, the less work it's going to be for that filing and buffing. So I just always take that extra step just to make sure everything is laying super flat. All right, so we're going to move right along now by incorporating some really easy nail art. It's going to be super effortless, and it is so easy to do with any set. So I'm taking a nail art brush, I'm dipping it directly into the dip base. I'm using a shorter nail art brush because then I have a little bit more control on where I'm applying the dip base, and I'm also building up this line slowly. And I'm going to go back in and dip it directly into that bottle again, and I'm just slowly building up that design and just building it up by applying a little bit of dip base, and then I'm just going to go ahead and keep creating that design to my heart's content. I want to do like a half kind of circle there just to give it like this really like beautiful pop of bling, and we're only going to do it on this one nail, but you could incorporate this on all the nails. You could switch it up and do like the ring nail this way as well, but really, really fun. And now that we have that design set, I'm going to go ahead and just gently go ahead and dip into that dip powder here. Now this method of like this easy nail art only works best with something that's glittery, so like really fine shimmers, a finer glitter, or like the shardy kind of glitter right here. If you are using more of like a chunkier glitter, you're going to have a lot of gaps. You want something that's like super fine when it comes to this kind of method. Also, if you were using this with a solid color, it wouldn't give you like that really clean, crisp effect. It could look a little bit muddy. So this really, really works good with like the color that we're using right now, like this flaky kind of glitter or those fine shimmers. It's just going to give you like this really like perfect perfection look. And then to clean up that nail art brush, I have just a little bit of rubbing alcohol here on this lint-free wipe, and I am just cleaning off that brush, and that was it. So the dip base is completely dry. We are dusting this off, and now we have this really fun design that was super, super easy to do. And then just to crisp up this line just a little bit, I'm just going to scrape away one of these pieces of glitter that kind of was not making that line as neat as I wanted to, and that was super easy to do. I'm just using that angle side of that orange wood stick and just making sure everything is super clean underneath that nail. And now I'm just going to go ahead and just gently file off that side there just to make sure that those little shard pieces are laying as flat as it can be. But overall, so fun. And wait till you see this mani when we're done, because we're going to do a little twist to this set as well, which is going to make this design pop even more and look really, really awesome. But I'm completely obsessed with like this little like nail art hack with the dip base and kind of creating a little design. It's super fun. Now we're going to go ahead and clean up that extra sparkle, and it's time to clear and encapsulate. So I always like to clean up my workstation before I go in and clear and encapsulate, just to make sure I am keeping this clear as pure as possible. I mean, we're always going to get that one straggler of sparkle in there. I mean, it never fails, right? But I wanted to make sure that all that little shardy pieces of glitter was completely cleaned up. So we applied that dip base on the entire nail, and now I'm just letting that nail kind of just marinate in the clear and just absorb completely. And then I still am going to go ahead and just press everything down. And we're going to only clear encapsulate today the nails that we applied the glitter on. I am not going to clear encapsulate the solid colored nails. The filing and buffing when it comes to the 915 aesthetics is pretty amazing, and I do not cut into those colors. I do not take away any of the color. So I felt very confident that my filing and buffing was going to be completely okay if I did not clear encapsulate. Now, if you're looking to build up strength, or you want to go ahead and protect those colors, if you are heavy-handed at filing and buffing, go ahead and do a layer of clear. Clear is not going to hurt it at all. So now what I'm doing is I'm making sure all that clear is in between all those nooks and crannies here, and making sure everything is completely flat. And then we're going to move on here to the next step. We're going to use a stiff nail brush and really give it a good scrub. Do wait about 3 minutes before you go in with that stiff brush, just to ensure that that clear powder is dried with that dip base, so you are not taking away all that hard work that you just did. That using a stiff brush is going to make sure that any clear powder that may be lingering is completely gone. It's also going to give you that crystal clear finish. It's going to prevent that nail from becoming cloudy once you go ahead and activate. So I'm doing a generous amount of activator on all the nails here, and I am going to make sure I'm doing like 2 coats of activator on those glittery sparkly nails, just to make sure that the activator is penetrating through all those beautiful layers here. And activation is so fun. It kind of just brings the whole set to life. It's definitely one of my favorites. So I let that activator sit for about 3 minutes here. I am taking my e-fill out and I am putting it at 2 RPMs. I am using that mini micro sanding band. It's a total game changer. This drill is awesome because I can use it at 2 RPM. It doesn't stall. I can even use it at 1 RPM, and this mini sanding band is a game changer for making press-ons because I can get all my filing and buffing done with a breeze. It's so easy to use, and I just love this drill so much, basically because it does not stall. And if you tried doing this with another drill, it's gonna stall out, especially when you are using it at such a low RPM. So this is a game changer, and that mini sanding bit just lets you get into, like, you can clean up the underneath side of that nail. It's just really awesome, that mini sanding band for making press-ons. And I am not like a professional at all when it comes to using a nail drill. I'm just like your normal at home doing it yourself nail person, and I love the effect that I get with the filing and buffing with this drill. Then just to clean up and just reshape ever so slightly, I'm just going in with a regular file here just to clean up the shape a little bit and just right underneath that nail. And that is all I did for the filing and buffing. So I am, just to save time, I'm going to finish up the rest of the filing and buffing off camera on the rest of the nails here. We're going to give the nails a quick dust off here and then go back in with our activator. The activator is going to give it just like that clean finish. It's going to get rid of any of those harsh filing and buffing lines, and then we're going to change it up today. We're going to go in with the gels today from 915 Aesthetics. And even though this mani is beautiful with a glossy shine, we're gonna change it up. We're gonna do a matte top coat. So I did a regular gel top coat first, cured for 60 seconds, and now I went in with the matte top coat after I cured. And now we are just applying that matte coat to the entire nail, and then I'm gonna cure for 60 seconds. Applying the glossy first and curing it is gonna give you a really clean matte finish. All right, so here's the set. I did the rest of the nails off camera and I love it matte. There is something about this color palette right here that looks so good matte. I love it so much. And this matte worked really well with this color palette. It kept the colors true. Sometimes when you're working with a matte finish in like purple colors and reds, they can kind of turn muddy or brown. I did not experience that, and I actually wore this set for a few days and it stayed true to color. So check out the nail that we added that glitter accent to. It is so fun. It kind of is like a coral quartz effect. I love it so much. I think it's just so pretty. It's like the shattered glass with that matte finish, and when the light hits it, it's super, super pretty. There's something about the shard pieces of glitter here with a matte finish that like has my whole heart, and it gives it like all this depth. It's so good. And then we have these rich sizzling colors. This screams summer here, and I could not be more excited about how these powders performed and how the set looked completed. And the matte finish for me totally is a game changer. So everything that we did use in today's set can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be creating a really fun holographic mani that is super easy to create, and there's tons of different ways to apply these Hollow Halo Luster Dust from Luxie Nail, but my favorite way is to apply them over a gel polish. So you could either do white, you could do black. So here's an example of the white on the left, and on the right is a black base with that beautiful holographic powder on top of it. I'm going to show you how to apply that. But today we're going to go in with a darker base. So I did pick the black, and we're just going to go ahead and apply a layer of black gel polish to the entire nail and cure for 30 seconds. So we are making a set of press-ons today, and I am using the shape medium almond. And everything that we are using today, from these really fun holographic powders to the gel polish to these jelly tips that we're using for the press-on set, everything can be found in that description box below. So there's many different ways to apply these. You don't even necessarily need to do a base color. You could go ahead and just do a layer of gel base and cure for 30 seconds, and then go in with these really fun powders. You could use them on top of your dip powder to like create some nail art. There's tons of different ways to incorporate these really fun powders onto your mani. And there's also a directional card that you can download from Luxie as well, to give you tons of different ways to apply these and different ways to use different applications like a makeup sponge, a brush. So options are going to be endless when you're playing with these beautiful holographic powders. All right, so we cured for 30 seconds here, and we're just finishing up the last nail. Now I love using a white or black because I feel like you're gonna pull these holographic powders to like another level. Black is gonna give you more color for your punch, and if you do a white background, it's kind of give you more of like that pearl holographic effect. So the darker the background, you're gonna get more of like that rich color holographic. All right, so I'm gonna apply with an eyeshadow applicator today. So I am dipping in a little bit of that powder onto the nail here, and then gently rubbing that powder into the nail. Now I am making sure I'm doing a very light hand when I am rubbing into this powder, because I do not want to break that barrier of that sticky layer on that gel polish, because you really want that sticky layer after you cure it. That's really what's going to adhere this holographic powder to the nail. So you just want to make sure you have a very delicate hand when you are rubbing in this beautiful powder here, and you're going to get the most effortless holographic nail here. So you can see here we have the whole holographic thing going on. So then I'm going to go in with a makeup sponge here and just dust off the remaining of that powder just to give it that clean, sleek finish. And then that nail is going to be ready to go when it's time to finish the final step. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep going on here applying the beautiful hollow powders, but we're going to use all 5 colors in this collection. There are 5 other colors on the website as well, but I wanted to really show you how fun these powders were, and I thought there's no better way to show you how fun these are by incorporating as many colors as we can. So that is what we're doing here. We're going to use all 5 colors so you can really see these beautiful holographic powders in action. And you can also pick and choose which colors you want. If you just are gravitating towards one color, there is an option to just purchase one. Otherwise, you can go ahead and purchase the whole set of 5. But so fun, very, very easy to use, just very beginner friendly. If you do cure your nails longer than 30 seconds, I feel like it does not work as well, because I did over cure a nail for 60 seconds versus 30, and that nail was definitely less tacky and I had a harder time to apply it, so I needed to start over. So just keep that in mind. Only cure for 30 seconds. That's really just going to give you like that full potential. All right, so right here on the nail, we have a little bit of black kind of showing up there on that cuticle line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of gel base here and just the thinnest layer, I'm applying it to that area that powder didn't stick to. I cured for 30 seconds, and now I'm going in with that eyeshadow applicator, and I did the exact same thing. I applied that hollow powder to that area, and we're going to dust off now with that makeup sponge. So that's just another way to troubleshoot that. It is common to kind of not have a chrome powder or a powder like this kind of hang onto the sidewalls area or right up at that cuticle line. So if that happens to you, just do a very thin layer of gel base and cure. All right, I don't know what color I like better so far. This purple right here, it's kind of everything. I feel like this is a great holographic set, especially for summer. If you want to recreate some mermaid nails, I feel like this would be really fun for like that perfect underwater mermaid effect. I mean, options are endless. Even like a holographic French tip would be really, really beautiful, especially for summer. I feel like anytime you have like this kind of color combination, it kind of screams summer, and I'm totally okay with that. So this purple right here, it is everything. I feel like the holographicness of this beautiful powder is like not living up to its full potential here on camera because my camera does not want to pick it all up, but it is stunning. And wait till you see when you take your nails outside and you have like a beautiful holographic situation on it, it's gonna be a complete game changer. All right, so sadly, we are wrapping up with the last color here, and this is the one that you saw in the beginning of the video over the white or black. And this one right here, this is everything, and I really like how the holographic shiftiness of these when the light hits it, it gives it like this beautiful rainbow effect, and it's really pretty depending on which way that light hits it. Overall, it's a very kind of like hypnotizing, magical kind of mani we have going on. All right, then to seal this in today, we're going in with a layer of gel top coat, and I am completely covering the whole nail here, and I am not noticing any of that holographic powder on the brush or anything like that, which is awesome. If you ever do get any of that powder on the brush of your top coat, just wipe off on a paper towel before you stick it back in the bottle to prevent contamination. But here's the mani after we went ahead and did the rest of the top coat and cured. I am loving it. That color shifting holographic goodness, it is everything. This screams summer. It is so fun and just another way to incorporate something different in your nails. You don't have to do a complete set like we did today. I just really wanted to show you how these colors performed and what they looked like. But overall, so fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's simple mani. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be creating a very simple mani today by pulling in some bright colors which are perfect for those warmer months ahead. We're going to be creating a set of press-ons today on the shape medium almond. We're also going to be using dip liquids for this mani. So we're going to start off with the first color here. It is a solid. It is called Surf Shack, and it is the perfect name for this color. It's like almost like a lime green, but it has a little bit of like that neon yellow mixed in. So overall, you get like the perfect summer bright neon green. It is really pretty. I love how it pulls a little bit yellow. I don't have anything like this in my collection, so when I saw this color, I was like, okay, this is what I've been looking for, because a lot of times they're either like that bright neon yellow or they're just overall like that bright green. This is like both of those colors combined to create the perfect neon color here. So we are using dip liquid, so anytime I dip it in the jar, I'm going to go ahead and press everything down to make sure everything is laying super, super flat. Now, if you are not making press-ons, this is a great way to see some beautiful colors in action. All right, so we're going to dust off, and then this is when I realized I don't know if I like these liquids or not. So you can see here, it's a little bit, you can see the brush lines. There are just, it's not what I'm used to when I'm applying a dip base. So this is the first time that I've tried these liquids in a long time, probably five years. So I was like, okay, let's give it a whirl. But I think what it is and why I'm getting these brush strokes and I'm not vibing with these liquids from Revel is a couple things. It could have been the solid powder that itself that we're using right here, but I think what it is the brush is not fanning out like I normally use when I'm using dip liquids, and also the brush itself, the bristles are a little bit stiffer and they're not super soft, so they're not naturally fanning out in the way that I'm used to, and the dip liquids are a little bit on the thicker side. They just were not for me, and if you love them, I'm sorry, and I'm so happy that they work for you, but they were not working for me. So I'm completely starting over. I took that nail off. I didn't even want to like work with it because it was just not vibing with me. So I busted out my Sparkle & Co. liquids for the rest of this mani here. And again, it could have been the solid color not flowing with the consistency of the liquids, but I could tell when I was using it that the brush was definitely a little bit more stiffer. And with you're working with dip liquids, the softer the brush, definitely the better. All right, so now we're gonna brush off here. Moment of truth, and I'm already liking what we're working with here. So we're just going to continue using the Sparkle & Co liquids throughout this video. I really wanted it to focus on the Revel liquids today and the powders combined, but we had to pivot in a different direction, and that's totally okay. And that's one of the reasons why I left this part in the video, because I wanted you to see my experience with the dip base and then how I went around it to just pivot in a different direction. So sometimes if something is not working out for you, that is truly okay. Everyone's preference is different and products are going to work differently on other people. Some people might love the Revel liquids. Me personally, I am just not a fan, and that is definitely okay. I may play around with the liquids a little bit more, switch out the brush to kind of see what we're working with here. But I love how this powder is performing with the thinner viscosity. So you can definitely see the difference there. On the left hand, you can kind of see those brush strokes, and then on our Sparkle & Co liquid nail, it's looking a lot better. The dip base itself from Revel is a little bit of a thicker consistency as well. And when we're working with press-ons, I really like to have a very thin consistency when it comes to either my gel base, if I'm doing the gel method, or when I'm, using dip liquids like we are today, because I really want to keep the shape of that nail and I want to reduce bulk. So having like a thinner consistency overall when you're making press-ons is definitely key, and making sure everything is laying super, super flat and pressing everything down on the sides will also help reduce bulk, because at the end, you really want this press-on to almost become one with your nail. And the less bulk we can add to this nail, the better it's going to be. Again, you could always go ham and file and buff to your heart's content to really get that nail to where you want it to be. But I want to make it as easy as possible on myself, because filing and buffing, it is not my favorite, to be completely honest with you. So the less bulk we can add to the nail, the better. All right, so I'm completely in love with this shade. But another color that I'm completely obsessed with is this one right here, and you're going to see why in just a few moments. But I love the Revel powders, and I haven't dipped into some Revel in a minute, and I have a really extensive collection. I've been a Revel girly since like the beginning of time. And then before Revel, I started with Revel, and then I started with Sparkle & Co. And I just, when we started dipping into the powders and everything was flowing with the dip liquids, I was like, okay, we need to play with more Revel. And here's why. Check out the coverage and the color of this nail. I mean, the coverage is everything. Again, that's only one coat. It's a very, very beautiful, vibrant summer. It's like, take me to the beach. It has mermaid vibes, and the shimmer is just unreal with that first coat. And this right here kind of just is everything to me. I love this color. If I could have one summer color, this would be it right here. All right, so we dusted off, and you can see even when we dusted off, it stayed true to that full coverage. Now, if these colors are not your cup of tea, Revel has tons of beautiful colors. You're definitely gonna find something that catches your eye. They even have like really pretty flakies. They just released some new reflective glitters as well. I really, really do enjoy their fine shimmers, their glitters. Those are like the colors that I gravitate towards, like the ones we're working with right here. I normally try to avoid the solids, just because I feel like the solids are a little bit more difficult to work with. And what I mean by the solids is that sometimes I've experienced when I'm working with the solids, especially the really, really light colors from Revel, they come out really patchy and streaky, and then you have to keep building up those layers, and then you're adding more bulk to that nail, and then you're working really hard to just file and buff. So I feel like the shimmers that we're working with like right now, and the fine glitters and the chunky glitters are definitely more my style when it comes to Revel. And I will say the formulas that we're working with today when it comes to the dip powders, I'm really enjoying so far. Even the salad that we worked with in the beginning, Surf Shack, once we went ahead and changed the liquids, it did apply beautifully to the nail. So I will give Revel props for that. It has been a hot minute since I've even used any of the salad, so I'm really excited to see how the new formula for the salads are. It's probably been about 2 years since I did a Revel mani, so I'm kind of just diving back into it here with the new colors, but I am loving the powder's consistency. They're very buttery, so if you are not making press-ons and you are actually dipping into the jar itself, it's gonna be that buttery, like heavenly experience. So that is definitely there, and they are very finely milled. So you're not seeing like any like colors kind of separating or anything like that. It is staying true to color. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into the rest of this mani here, and then I'm gonna pop back in just a few moments.
Trees aren't green, the ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise, I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems, and I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems, and all of my problems, and where did it go? The feeling of thirst, desire to be a rock in my heels. I'm numb as a poison, flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise, I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems, and I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems, and all of my problems, and maybe I need a break. Maybe that's why I fade into this bitter.
All right, now that we're done activating, we're gonna go ahead and file and buff. And you will notice I did not clear encapsulate these nails. Everything was laying super, super flat. So all I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up underneath that press-on nail and just slightly reshaping ever so slightly. And that is all I needed to do when it came to the filing and buffing, because everything was laying so, so flat. So it was very easy, very minimal filing and buffing when it came to these powders. You can see everything is laying flat. It's not bulky or anything like that. So that is what we're working with. I did the rest of the filing off camera. And then even though I am going to finish up this mani today with a layer of gel top coat, I'm still going to go ahead and do another layer of activator just to make sure all those powders are set. Just in case I disturb them during filing and buffing, we're just going to seal in all those powders one more time here. But I love this color combination so much, and there's just something about the activation process. It kind of just brings those nails to life. All right, then to seal in this mani, you could either go in with your favorite dip top coat, or you can go in with your gels. So right now I'm just sealing everything in with a layer of gel top coat, and then I'm going to cure for a full 60 seconds. If you've ever experienced flaking or peeling, definitely do a layer of gel base first and cure, then go in with your top coat, or you could use a clear rubber base. So we went ahead and did the rest of the top coat off camera, and here is our bright, vibrant, ready for summer mani here. These colors scream summer. I love this combination so much. And I do honestly, even though we had a little bumps in the road in the beginning, I do really like how these powders performed. And I cannot wait to grab some more Revel. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I do also have a discount code if you are looking to shop for Revel. You could use that to save a few dollars as well. But I hope you enjoyed this simple mani today, and we kind of did a little troubleshooting as well. But don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's set, we're going to be pulling in pops of beautiful neon colors from Sandara Nails. I figured Memorial Day just ended. That is the official kickoff to summer here in Wisconsin. So I figured we're going to go all in. We're going to do a really fun tie-dyed neon set today. We're going to be doing it on the shape medium almond, and we're going to waste no time. We're going to dive right into the set today. The first thing I always like to do when I'm doing any kind of nail art that is full coverage, I like to have a really great base color, and Fluffy Clouds is the perfect background color today for the nail art that we're going to be using, because we are pulling in those beautiful neon colors, and having this stark white base background is just really going to help those neon colors really pop when we get into the nail art. So, and you also notice that this is a very full coverage, full opaque white, and that is why I love it so much. It's really fun for like any nail art. If you're doing like any detailed nail art, this is a great color to have, especially Finks, which is the black, because it is so full coverage. And you can see here, it's not patchy, it's not streaky. After we cure, I'm going to show you all the nails here in just a minute. It doesn't have any lines in it. A lot of times when you're playing with whites, it's just, you can see the lines and the brush strokes. I'm not experiencing any of that with the Sandara Nail Gel formula, and that is one of the reasons why I love this formula so much. And it also doesn't have that strong chemical scent to the gels. A lot of times when you're playing with HEMA-free gentle gel formula products, they have like this powering chemical scent. These gels do not have that. So if you're someone that's sensitive to scents or smells, this might be another option for you. It is a very gentle formula, which I love so much. All right, so here we go. We have the perfect white background. Now let's dive into some nail art. So we're gonna use this really awesome art crystal palette. This is brand new from Sandara Nails. It is amazing. It is really heavy. It is glass, it's crystal, and it is such a game changer when it comes to doing any kind of nail art, because it's not porous and it's super, super easy to clean. Now you can see here we are diving into all these beautiful neon colors. So I'm applying these neon colors to the crystal palette here, and I am keeping the colors very, very close together, because that is going to help us create this little ombre kind of radiant neon effect. So we're taking a makeup sponge here, and I am dipping that makeup sponge directly into that gel polish. And then what we're gonna do here is just dab the makeup sponge directly onto the nail. Now I will say it is best, you're gonna see here, this is what not to do. So you can see here, I'm kind of dabbing that sponge kind of all over the nail. I'm not really staying in one place, and that's gonna give it more of a muddier effect. And that is something that you want to avoid if you want to keep the colors as pure and vibrant as possible. So keeping that sponge kind of in the same place, so all those colors kind of blend together, is gonna make it more vibrant and less muddier. So just keep that in mind. You're gonna see the difference here when we get to the next nail. This was kind of like my trial and error nail. I am gonna go back and correct that nail and start over on that thumbnail completely here at the very end. Moving on to the second nail here, this is when I went ahead and pressed down, and we have great coverage so far, and I'm just making sure I am keeping that sponge in those colors exactly in the same area when I am pressing down that makeup sponge. That's going to create a less muddy effect and give you more of that radiant tie-dye ombre effect. So here's that thumbnail again after we cured it, and this is right here when I was like, this is not looking good. It's looking very muddy. It's not as vibrant as the nail right here. So that's when I was like, okay, we're just gonna take that nail off and redo it. So now that we cured that first coat here, we're going back in with the sponge, and we have like the perfect radiant neon nail. So that is my only thing I can tell you. It's all trial and error when you're doing your nails at home, but definitely once you go ahead and apply the makeup sponge to the nail, just focus on the same area here, and the more you go ahead and just like gently press the makeup sponge into the nail, the more you're gonna get like this like faded gradient effect. And it's just so fun to do. You can pull in so many different colors with this. I feel like shades of different tones of pinks and blues would look really pretty as well. So I cured this nail for 30 seconds, and I want to build it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to make sure we are dabbing those colors exactly in the same area, just to give that nail a little bit more vibrancy. We're moving on to the fourth nail, and this time I'm using a fresh makeup sponge. I did not want to risk mudding up the colors too much, but I was able to do 3 full nails with that first sponge that we used. So I'm using 2 makeup sponges for this entire set. You probably could have got away with doing all 5. I just didn't want to risk kind of mudding up those colors. So that was the only reason why I got a brand new sponge going into the 4th nail here. But so fun. You can see here, I'm kind of alternating how we're picking up the colors. So if you look at the second nail at the cuticle line, it has pink and it's transitioning down. And then the middle nail has like the blue green. And then the nail that we're working on right here has some green, blue, and then the pink at the tip. So I'm kind of alternating the colors a little bit. So just so fun. Options are definitely endless when you're playing with a makeup sponge and whatever colors you're pulling in, but I just felt like the colors, like the neon colors that we're using today, just scream summer, and I'm loving it so much. So here's what we're working with. It is fun, it is vibrant, and it is also reminding me of Taylor Swift Lover era outfit right here. That's where my mind went when I saw this set right here. All right, so now we're gonna go in with a really fun reflective glitter top coat. This is the rainbow glitter top coat from Sandara Nails. This is a total optional step if you are not a glitter person or you just want to appreciate the pops of neon colors. You could just go in with your traditional top coat, but I felt like this set, not only was it rich in color and vibrant, but it needed a little bit of bling. So that's what we're doing here. We are adding some rainbow holographic sparkle to this, and I'm so glad I did because the sparkle to me was a total game changer. And this was the first time that I've played with the rainbow top coat. And now I cannot wait to like try it on all different colors because it is so fun. And when you're outside in the sun, it is super holographic and reflective. So I'm curing as we go here for a full 60 seconds and we're just wrapping up this set. And here's the finished mani. It is so fun. It is, like I said, it's very rich in color, but yet we have this really beautiful pop of sparkle. But either way, I like it either way. I like it without the glitter and I love it with the glitter. I could take it either way. But this is really fun to incorporate some pops of color. This is like the perfect like dipping our toes into summer kind of look as well. And I'm really liking this gradient effect that makeup sponge gave these colors. It kind of looks like the colors are just like naturally flowing together and we're getting like a really good transition. But I could not be more obsessed with this color combination. Like I said, it screams summer and it is everything. And I really had fun playing with that makeup sponge. I feel like makeup sponge nail art is kind of like my thing. I'm kind of obsessed with it because it's just like so fun to like play with the makeup sponge. I don't know. If you haven't tried playing with the makeup sponge, give it a whirl because you can pull in so many different color combinations. You don't necessarily need to do like the neons like we did today, but overall, so fun. So everything that we use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's set, we're going to keep it really simple and we're going to be using some fun colors that are perfect for summer. We're also going to be creating a set of press-ons on the shape short coffin. And then for this entire set, we're going to be using dip liquids. So we're not using any gels today. So we're going to start off with the first color here, Island Glow. It is beautiful. So the color scheme right here, these powders are from Madkin Beauty and you can get them individual or you can get them as like this little bundle that you see here with the colors that we're using. I love it. It screams summer, but it kind of gives me like a retro-y kind of summer kind of vibe. You're going to see what I'm talking about here once we dip into all these beautiful colors. But right off the bat, I am loving the coverage of the first color here. So even though we are using dip liquids today, I am going to still take that time just to press everything down. And then once everything is completely flat how I want it, we'll go ahead, dust off, and then we'll apply another layer of dip base. And we're going to end up doing 2 coats of each color so you can really see how these powders perform. And then you can see if this color is going to be right for you or something you want to add to your collection. But I also feel like these colors that we're using today would be perfect to incorporate into that holiday season. I know we're already in July, but Christmas is going to be here before you know it. And I feel like these colors would be a really fun play for that retro Christmas kind of feeling as well. But there's so many options you can do with these colors. I feel like they're great staple colors as well. And you're going to see them all in action here today. So we've been doing a lot of chit chat here on my channel. So I thought today we would just sit back and watch these beautiful colors in action. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to keep it really, really simple. And if you want to use a gel method, you definitely could use a gel method for this set as well. These powders perform great with either dip liquids or the gels. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into these beautiful colors, and then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit. And buff, we're going to do a layer of clear dip powder on all the nails. I just wanted to preserve the beautiful color. Normally I only clear encapsulate like my glitter nail, like that middle nail that we did. But today, since these colors had a really pretty shimmer to it, I really wanted to protect the integrity of that color. So we're just going to go ahead and apply some dip base and just let that nail kind of marinate in that clear powder just to make sure all that dip base is completely absorbed. I am going to just press everything down. I am going to do the rest of the nails off camera just to save some time. And then we're going to dust off the nails as well with a stiff brush before we go in with the activator. That's going to ensure that we're removing any extra clear powder that may be lingering behind. It's also going to give us that pure crystal clear finish. If you've ever went in without using like a firmer brush before your activator and you notice that the nails were super cloudy or not as clear, it may be because you had some extra powder kind of hanging behind. So that stiff nail brush really does come in handy before you go ahead and activate. So game changer. If you've been watching my last couple videos, I've been obsessed with this mini sanding band and I love it for my press-on sets here. It is total game changer. It makes filing and buffing super, super easy. Plus this nail drill does not stall. I can use it at 1 RPM or 2 RPM, which is perfect when we're working with a press-on set, and I can clean underneath the nail. So super easy to do and way quicker than using a buffer block. And then after that buffing, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that shape ever so gently. And that is all I needed to do with my filing and buffing. So we're going to go ahead and do that chunky glitter nail as well. And that little sanding band, it just like gets into like all the right areas. There's just something about the mininess of it that really just like totally changed up the game for me. And honestly, I think I'm going to continue to use that mini sanding band because I can get my filing and buffing done super, super easy. And filing and buffing to me is my least favorite thing of an entire set. So we're just finishing up here. We're cleaning up underneath that press on to make sure that we have a good transition to that natural nail when we go ahead and apply it. So the rest of the filing and buffing was done off camera. And now we're going to go ahead and do another layer of activator. That's going to go ahead and just get rid of any of those harsh filing lines, and it's also going to go ahead and settle any of that dip powder that we may disturbed during the filing and buffing process. And then to seal in this set today, I'm going to go ahead and use the dip liquids, but before that, we're going to go ahead and just make sure we are wiping off any extra activator that may be lingering behind on this set. Then to finish up today, we're going to do a layer of that top coat. I'm going to go ahead and do the first layer on all the nails here, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the second coat. So all the nails already have that first coat, and then the last coat, we can be more precise with our application. And I'm going to finish up the rest of the nails off camera. And then here's the completed set. I'm loving this color scheme right here. It's giving me like retro, but yet like beach Barbie kind of vibes. And I'm totally here for this color palette. But it's really fun. It's super simple. We still have that pop of sparkle there with our middle nail there. We have like that all over glitter. But overall, such a fun color palette, and I could not be more happier with how these powders performed with the dip liquids. Again, they do perform just as fantastic with the gel method as well. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's Mani, we're going to be trying and attempting the viral chrome cotton candy nails. So we're going to be using products from Sandara Nails, and we're also going to be using a few from Amazon. So we're going to start off with a base color. We're going to be using Fluffy Clouds, which is a game changer when it comes to a white gel polish. It is super full coverage. It's not patchy, streaky, anything like that. It's super, super pigmented. It is great for nail art. It's also a great background for what we're doing today. And you only need one coat because it is that full coverage. It's amazing, and it's a really gentle formula as well, which I love so much. So I'm going to go ahead and apply Fluffy Clouds to all the nails. We cured for a full 30 seconds. Moving on to the next step, we're going to apply a layer of matte top coat to all the nails, and we're going to cure for a full 60 seconds. This definitely is an important part of the process, is having a matte finish when you are playing with the pigments. I tried it both ways with a glossy finish and a matte, and matte was definitely key. All right, so while that's curing for a full 60 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and cut this makeup sponge here into little pieces. Having the little pieces worked way better for me. I mean, if you want to go ahead and use the full makeup sponge, you definitely could. But I went ahead and just trimmed up the makeup sponge into little pieces, and then we're going to use this little grabber to pick up the pieces and dip into the pigments. And if you don't have a makeup sponge, you could always use an eyeshadow applicator as well. So this is this little like grabber thing we're going to use to pick up the pieces of the nail sponge, and then we're going to dip into the pigments. All right, so now the fun part. The hardest part is going to be to kind of pick what colors you want to work with when you are trying this method. So I figured we're just going to go in with 5 colors here, and we're going to start off here with the orange, and I wanted to go ahead and move those colors away here because working with pigments can kind of get a little bit messy, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. All right, so now that we have that matte finish that's cured, we're going to go in with the pigments here, and we're just going to start rubbing the pigments onto the nail, and you can create whatever design look you're going for. The best part is that you are doing your nails at home, so you can just pick and choose what colors you want to pull in as well. I wanted to create kind of like a summer cotton candy kind of vibe, so that's why we're pulling in some brighter colors. But if you wanted to stay true to like that cotton candy kind of look, you could pull in more pink tones and purples and then some light blues. That would look really gorgeous as well. But I'm just going in with some vibrant colors. Now the pigments are just from Amazon, and everything that we are using in today's video can be found in that description box below as well. Now, if you're not making a set of press-ons and you are playing with these pigments on your hands and you notice that you're getting some staining by that cuticle line, or you're getting the pigment all over your skin and you're like, this is kind of a hot mess, do not worry about it. After you cure, just go ahead and use a lint-free wipe when you're done, completely done with your mani, and all that pigment will just disappear. Otherwise, you can just wash your hand with soap and water as well, but it should not stain your skin or that cuticle line. If you are nervous about that, you can definitely use the lighter colors near the cuticle line and just like avoid any like of that bright pink kind of pigment or blue. That would definitely help minimize any staining potential as well. So we're going in with the blue. The blue kind of took me by surprise. It is really just pigmented and bright, and a little bit does go a long way. You can definitely see that color difference from just like that first kind of like blue we put on the tip there, kind of versus like putting it in the middle. It's very bright, but I really try to focus on the lighter colors, and then those bolder colors of pink and blue I just placed a little bit. So once you're done applying the pigment to the nail, go ahead and dust off. Now this step right here is completely optional. You can see I'm going back in now and I am building up that color. So if you want more of like a bolder effect, you can definitely go in with another layer of pigment to build up that color. And I'm only going to build up the pigment on this thumbnail only because I wanted to show you what it would look like with more of a vibrant pigment application versus a lighter. And then on the other nails, I'm only going to do one layer of that pigment so you can kind of see best of both worlds. So that's what we're doing right now. We are just going in and just layering up that pigment here, just building up that color. Again, I'm going to just do it very, very lightly when it comes to that blue and that beautiful pink, but I think like a blue and like a pink kind of mani as well, chromed out, would be really awesome for like a mermaid kind of vibes. All right, so we're dusting off here, and then we're just gonna go in and do the exact same thing to the other nail, but this time we are just gonna focus on that one layer. And again, if you don't have a makeup sponge, you can definitely do this with an eyeshadow applicator as well. I will say I am really liking this little like grabber thing. So this is from Maniology, this little grabber, and it's meant to like clean up your stamping plates. You use like a little bit of a cotton ball with acetone, and then you can clean your stamping plate. But this is really awesome for this method as well, and I'm really loving this little grabber. And when I was looking on Amazon to try to find the pigments, I also found they do sell pre-cut makeup sponges with this little grabber as well. So I will link that in that description box below just in case you are interested in having pre-cut makeup sponges, but you can always cut your own. It was very easy to do. And like a pack of like the full size makeup sponge was like $2.50, and then the pre-cut was $9.99. So I mean, it just took a few seconds to cut, but we're just finishing up applying that beautiful pigment here to the nails, and I will say I'm really loving the placement of the colors on this nail. That's the best part, is that you can create like different designs, but overall, really, really pretty. We're just going to go back in here with a little bit of yellow just to fill in that white spot there that I had. And then we're going to dust off. And I'm going to finish up the rest of the pigment placement on the other nails off camera just to save time. But you can see here, it's just a very light coverage here. I had a little bit of white showing through right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure that is completely covered. And you can see the difference here. It's more of a lighter shade of pigment versus that thumbnail that's a little bit brighter. Then what we're going to do now is that we're going to do a layer of gel top coat. So the gel top coat, we're going to apply it evenly to the nail, and then we're going to cure for 30 seconds. Curing for 30 seconds when you're playing with chrome is definitely crucial. It's going to give you that clean, sleek, chrome finish. So only cure for 30 seconds. Now we're going in with the new Sandara Unicorn Chrome. This chrome is amazing. You're going to have effortless options when it comes to this chrome. It's going to enhance any color. So I'm using an eyeshadow sponge here, and I dipped into that beautiful chrome, and the transformation is beginning. We have this really beautiful tie-dye unicorn cloud cotton candy vibe going on, and I am loving every second of this transformation of this chrome. It is beautiful. You can see it has a really flawless application, and that is because we only cured that gel top coat for 30 seconds. I know that when I cure for 60 seconds, I do not get this clean of a chrome finish. So the key for chrome, 30 seconds. And then you definitely can go ahead and cure that the rest of the way after you go ahead and apply that chrome if you are concerned about that curing for 30-second time frame. So we're just finishing up the chrome here. It is beautiful. It is everything. And I'm completely in love with how this is turning out. It's giving me kind of those tropical kind of sunset vibes, and I'm loving the chrome finish. All right, so now that we have everything chromed, we're gonna finish this mani with another layer of gel top coat, but this time, after we apply it to all the nails, we are gonna cure for that full 60 seconds. Now, if you've ever experienced any flaking or peeling, if you just finish up your manicure with a gel top coat, then definitely finish up with a layer of gel base, then go in with your top coat and cure. All right, so here's the finished mani. It is so fun, it's bright, it's colorful, it's bringing me a lot of joy. I love color, and the chrome, the unicorn finish is just everything. So you can really see that color difference here on that thumbnail, that it is more vibrant, rich in color, and then you have that chrome coming through versus the other nails when we only did that one layer of pigment. It's giving it more of like that lighter unicorn cotton candy kind of cloud vibe. But overall, whatever method you choose, by layering in multiple colors or building up that pigment or just doing a light pigment finish, you're gonna get a really awesome effect when you go in and apply that really fun unicorn chrome. Now, that unicorn chrome can be used any way you want. I feel like it's gonna enhance any color that you put underneath it as a base, and then you go in with that chrome, and it's gonna be a pretty magical experience. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I will say this was a really fun set to create. I had a lot of fun playing with those pigments. That was actually my first time playing with pigments, believe it or not, and I had so much fun recreating that cotton candy unicorn cloud style mani. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into some brand new colors from 915 Aesthetics. We're going to be creating a set of press-ons today on the shape Short Coffin, and we are going to be doing the gel method today. So I figured we tried some of the new colors a couple days ago using dip liquids. I figured there's no better way to see how these perform than trying the gel method. So that is what we're doing. We're going to try the gel method today. So I'm doing a very thin layer of gel base on the entire nail, and then I'm just carefully dipping into the jar here, and we are in our first color here. So we're going to do kind of like a mermaid kind of colored theme mani today. So that coverage right here with the first coat, it is really pretty. It's not patchy, it's not streaky, it's kind of giving me a purple sea glass color here, and I love it so much. So before we cure, I'm always going to make sure I am taking time to press everything down. That's really going to help reduce the bulk. And anytime you see me dipping and then brushing off a nail in today's video, just know that I cured for a full 30 seconds. So we're gonna do 2 coats of each color today. And I can tell you right now, I was pretty satisfied with the color payoff with 2 dips, but you definitely can build up the vibrancy on these powders if you do 3 or 4 dips. Also, they're very easy to file and buff. We saw that on last week Monday's video when we played with these colors. They were super easy to buff. So if you are looking to build up that structure and you like doing a lot of layers, these are definitely really, really easy to file and buff. All right, so check it out. It's even more vibrant in color. I love the play of these new colors because they're pastels with a twist of neon. So I love that so much because you can definitely carry that from right now into the spring season, and you can carry that into summer, which I think that is the best part. Plus the salads from 915 Aesthetics are to die for. They are by far the highest quality salads I own in my entire arsenal of dip powders, and they are fantastic. And you can see here, they are performing great with the gel method. So a lot of times when you're working with the gel method, if you are working with especially salads, they can look kind of like the color is distorting. You're not getting like a pure color as you see like on the website. But I'm not experiencing any of like that color distortion with this gel method. So this combination right here of these powders and the gels are working great. So far, I can say out of all the powders that I tried from 915 Aesthetics with the gel method, I have not ran into any issues. I even played with some reds with the gel method, and everything is working out fantastic. I love these powders. I cannot speak any more like highly about them because they are just so good. And if you haven't tried 915 Aesthetics yet, definitely give them a whirl. All right, so we're diving into this beautiful blue here. That first coat, it's everything. It's kind of like the sheer robin eggs blue. Really, really pretty. And we're going to go in with a second coat here. In the Model 1's gels that I'm using today, they do have a thinner consistency. And a little bit of that gel does go a long way. So if you are making press-ons and you're looking for thinner gels, that's a good option. I have not tried the 915 Aesthetics gel. I know they carry one, so I don't know what that viscosity is. But the thinner viscosity you can get when making press-ons, that is definitely going to be key to help reduce any of that bulk. So again, pressing everything down here, making sure everything is laying super flat before we go ahead and give this a good cure. But this is a really beautiful blue. I love that it's just like that light but yet pop of color. All right, so now this is the fun part. So I wanted to pull in all this beautiful glitter. It is everything. Let's dive in here. We have the purple, we have like the minty green, we have blues, we have whites, we have everything in between from the fine glitter to the chunky glitter. And this glitter right here screams like mermaids to me. And right now I'm just making sure when I'm doing my ombre that I am looking at the nail before I go ahead and commit to the ombre. So always look, if you're making a press on, always look at the nail, how you're going to be applying it on your hand, because it's going to be reversed. Because if you would just go ahead and start the ombre how you're looking at the press on set on the stand like we see right here, we would be doing the ombre completely wrong. So I wanted that purple to kind of transition into the purple. So that's why I always make sure when I am making my press-ons, I go ahead and look at the nail, how I would apply it on my actual finger. So then everything is kind of flowing together. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to work in all of the 3 solid colors here. And we are using one of the new ombre brushes from 915 Aesthetics. This brush is awesome because it's super long and it's just picks up, the bristles are super soft but yet still close together, so you're picking up like the right amount of powder. It's really awesome. So I am using the ombre brush for the solids only, and then I am gonna dip directly into that cupcake liner for that glitter ombre because I just wanted to make sure that that solid purple was really exactly where I wanted it, because the glitter, since it's an ombre, I kind of wanted to have like a kind of a messy kind of ombre look, and the glitter's kind of sporadically everywhere. So when you're working with glitters and doing an ombre, you can get away with just dipping into that cupcake liner or into the jar, but make sure you're doing like your solid or your fine shimmer first before you dip into your chunky glitters. All right, so now that everything is pressed down, we're going to go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. We're dusting off here, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do a layer of that gel base. This time I'm making sure I'm focusing on that area of the glitters with that gel base, just to make sure that I got in between like all those layers here. And now we're going to continue the same thing with the ombre here. So normally when you're doing an ombre with two colors, you would want to reverse your colors for the second dip. So normally you would want to do your glitters first, then go back to that purple for like that smoother transition to get like that gradient effect. But since this is a solid and we're working with the glitter, I am going to still continue to do the solids first. And then I'll go ahead and do that same method by dipping into the cupcake liner, because I'm still going to get that same like gradient effect due to the nature of the glitters. So that's a really fun way to help if you ever struggled with ombre, and this is a good way to try it with a solid first and then try with the glitter. It's really fun to do it this way, and it's really easy to achieve an ombre when you are implementing like a solid with a chunky glitter. That's the best way for me to practice first with my ombre, and then I branched into doing like two solids or a solid in like a very subtle shimmer. But glitters are really fun to enhance any kind of mani today, and you don't necessarily need to do an ombre like we're doing right now. You could definitely do like a full glitter nail, but I really wanted to incorporate as many colors from this glitter as we could. So that's why we're going to be pulling in Clover, that beautiful green here, in just a minute. So I'm just making sure everything is laying super flat. I'm using that orange wood stick to make sure any bigger glitters are away from that cuticle line and underneath that press on. So for this nail only, I did cure for 30 seconds. I dusted off. And this nail only, I wanted to add just a little bit more glitter pieces to this nail to kind of just give it more of like that gradient effect. This is totally optional if you're totally okay with how the placement of the glitter looked when you organically dipped it. You do not need to do this step, but this is just another way to kind of get that glitter kind of giving that like sporadic look. You can always hand place glitters as well. So I'm just doing a few here, and I'm focusing on that purple area here just to kind of tie it in just a little bit more here. But these glitters are really fun. I love the colors. This glitter right here screams summer to me. It just has the right combination of like just like those beautiful mermaid tone glitters. You're going to be able to do a lot with this glitter alone. I feel like this would be great mixed in with white, and you could even do just like so many different things. You could do like nail art. You could place these glitters individually and create some little flowers. My mind is going everywhere with this glitter right now. I also feel like this would be really pretty with like a neon green. All right, so for that ombre brush, before we go into the other color, I'm going to use this little color swisher that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that brush so we can continue using that same brush. Now we're moving on to Clover, and we're going to do the exact same thing we just did on that purple nail. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into this ombre here, and then I'm going to pop back in just a few moments.
Thinking about the way that you know me. No one ever cared like you care for me. You're such a bright star in the dark space. Babe, it never worked out with the others. All we ever did was fight, and at one point I would never thought that I would meet someone like you. This time it's all different. You got every little string on me. The way you make me feel is crazy. How did you get so fly? You got me like, my. You got me like, my. You got me like, there's no other than you now, babe. Nah, cause you got me like, my. Like, oh my God. Don't let anyone hold you down just because you are shining way more than the other could. Oh. And the best part is that you're still so humble about it. You know it's important. This time it's all different. You got every little string on me. The way you make me feel is crazy. How did you get so fly? You got me like, my. You got me like, my. You got me like, there's no other than you now, babe. Nah, cause you got me like, my. Like, oh my God. This time it's all different. You got every little string on me. The way you make me feel is crazy. How did you get so fly? You got me like, my. You got me like, my. You got me like, there's no other than you now, baby. Nah, cause you got me like, my. Like, oh my God. You got me like,
All right, now that we're done doing the ombre, and we're gonna go ahead and clear encapsulate this nail so we can go ahead and file and buff. So I'm gonna do a layer of gel base on the entire nail, cure for 30 seconds, and then once that's cured, I'm gonna go ahead and follow in with a layer of gel top coat and apply it to the entire nail and then cure for 60 seconds. That's what's gonna give this nail a layer of protection, because when you are doing the gel method, you do not wanna use any clear dip powder to encapsulate, because the gel and the clear do not work together. You're going to get like a total hazy cloud effect. So now that that's cured, we can safely go ahead and file and buff. So I just use that regular file there just to clean up underneath the nail to make sure that there is no acrylic powder. And now I'm going in and buffing that nail here, and I'm not breaking into any of those beautiful glitters. And I am pretty heavy handed. So the file that we're using today, that first file is from 915 Aesthetics, and then this other buffing file, I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below. I really like this buffing file. I feel like I can get more control. Then after filing and buffing, I am going to go back in and file again. So this time I took the nail off the stand. So whatever you need to do to file when it comes to making a press on, feel free to definitely remove that nail off the stand to get a really good clean finish, especially underneath that nail. And then I'm just going to clean up the shape here just a little bit, and then we are done filing and buffing. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that we remove any extra filing dust. I'm going to go in with a lint-free alcohol wipe here just to remove any of that extra filing dust on there, and then we are good to go. So if you want to go ahead and seal in this mani with a layer of gel base and cure, you definitely can, but I'm just going to finish up today with a layer of gel top coat and cure for 60 seconds. And then here's the finished mani. I did the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. I love it. It is so pretty. I just love this color scheme right here. Doesn't it kind of give you mermaid vibes? I don't know, it's just me, but I'm loving it. I love that glitter. I really wanted to pull in as many colors as we could in this mani today to really kind of just like enhance that glitter. That glitter is so beautiful, and I really love how we have two salad nails here mixed in with some glitter, but overall, such a fun combination, and these powders performed amazingly with the gel method. All right, so everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. Spring is right around the corner, and today we're going to be creating a really easy, super cute pink strawberry style nail look. For our press-on set, we're going to be using soft jelly tips from Sundara Nails. They're already pre-etched. And then for our base color, we're going to go in with a beautiful milky pink. This is in the color Bubble Bath. But before we go in with this color, I'm just going to take a little bit of acetone on a lint-free wipe, and we're just going to swipe over the nail a few times. I feel like I get a really good application with this method by doing a little bit of acetone on the nails before I go in with the base color. Now, if you want to use a gel base before you go in with your gel color, you can definitely do that. It's just really based off preference. So here's our base color. It is called Bubble Bath. This is really gorgeous. It's just the perfect milky splash of pink. It's a great background color for our gorgeous pink fun strawberries today. And it's kind of like a spring mani with a twist because we're adding some really adorable trendy strawberries, and then we're going to incorporate some spring flowers as well. But overall, this is going to be a really simple and easy nail look that anybody can achieve. So we're going in with that first coat. I'm doing a very thin layer. I'm starting right below that cuticle line and then working that gel product up. The nice thing about this, it's really full coverage and a really buildable color. If you want, you can definitely do one coat, or you can build it up a little bit more. This is definitely a great staple color to have in your collection. If you want to do a French tip over this is a really beautiful, just like light wash of pink. It's also a great background for any nail art, and wedding season's coming up. So if you have someone that loves just like that beautiful, like milky color, but wants a little splash of pink, this is a great alternative. So this is what it looks like cured with one coat. We are going to do two coats today, so I'm just going to show you what two coats looks like on this nail right here, and then we're going to compare it to one so you can really see that beautiful color payoff. No matter what, if you're doing one coat or two coats, it still looks really beautiful, but see how it just looks just a little bit more of that pop of milky pink with the two coats. And this is what the set looks like before we implement any nail art. This looks gorgeous just like this, or if you wanted to keep that color and then pull a little chrome through to have a little bit of glazed donut moment, you definitely can get away with that with this beautiful color. Getting into Kind Heart, which is a brand new color for Sundara Nails for 2025. It is part of the Spring Fairy collection, which consists of 10 beautiful milky sparkly pastel colors, and they're really beautiful. They're very sheer. You can build them up. So we're going to go ahead and apply this to two nails. We're going to do two coats of full coverage. These are going to be our strawberry nails. So I cured for 30 seconds, and now we're going to go in with another coat just to build up that perfect pink strawberry look. I really like this color because it's a very light pink, but yet it has sparkle in it, but the sparkle is just a very just like delicate, whimsical kind of sparkle. So it's really forgiving on the nails, and it's perfect for spring season. And we're only doing two coats of this color, but I wanted to show you what it looks like with three coats. So here's what it looks like with three coats. It's even more beautiful and just like that perfect pop of light pink. Overall, such a fun new color. And a helpful tip when you're playing with these new gels from Sundara Nails with the really fine glitters in them, once you go ahead and apply the gel polish to the nail, let it self-level for a few moments, like about 15 seconds, before you stick it in the lamp, and then that's going to get those glitters to lay completely flat to the nail. Now we're going to get into the nail art, and we're going to mix a few colors together. We're going to start off with Kind Heart, and then we're going to mix a little bit of Pink Rose together. This is going to be for our French tip. I really love Kind Heart, but I wanted it just a little bit more less on the sheer side, and I wanted just to build up that color a little bit more. So that's why we're going to be mixing these two colors together. Sometimes it's really fun just to see what colors you have and then just mix them together for a really just like fun little nail look. And we're going to go in and we're going to create a French tip on two of the nails, and then we're going to create some strawberries and some flowers. Overall, it's going to be a really simple, easy nail art look. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive in the nail art, and then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit.
sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble lacking everlasting ego. I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness and all of your adventures, you're all alone. Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble lacking everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes with his humble lacking everlasting ego. Someone hurt your feelings not that long ago, and every bit of you couldn't face the truth that maybe you're just not that nice and humble kind. That would be a lie. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble lacking everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes with his humble lacking everlasting ego.
All right, so we're just wrapping up the strawberry. Now to seal everything in, we're gonna do a layer of gel top coat over all the nails. I'm gonna go with the glossy finish today. I feel like this would be really pretty with a matte finish as well. Also, if you want to add a little bit more dimension to the nails or a pop of color on those flower nails, you could use some gold caviar beads or some pearl beads and put that in the middle of the flower if you wanted to add some more depth. You could even add more flowers to the nail, but I really liked how this turned out. I had so much fun creating these adorable little strawberries. The pink is everything. It's melting my whole heart right now, and I'm really into fruit style nails. So this set right here was everything. All right, so here's our finished set. It's so cute. It's perfect for spring, and it was really easy to do. I'm not the best at nail art, but I had so much fun creating this. And honestly, I think it turned out really cute. I think we have some really good colors, and these colors really flow well together. There's like that just splash of green just really ties in the whole pink strawberry look for me. All right, so everything that we use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Stay tuned. We have some more fresh spring manis coming your way, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one.